Hey guys, what's happening today? Today we are working on a Volvo Penta. This is a QA125 and she had a timing belt issue. Oops. Anyways, these aren't too bad of a little motor to do. They are ignorant, but then again, what mechanical thing isn't? I'm going to put this in layman's terms today because I'm not cranking this engine around to top dead center again because of a simple little problem that if you don't pick up on it, you basically could sit here all day and wonder what the hell is going on. Okay? The timing marks are very, very simple. The double line actually goes down here to the bottom of the crank, and then on the back side of the shaft here there's a mark, and then there's also a mark also on the block. You line that up. These lines here will come around and almost touch that mark, and then you're perfect. Okay, there's also another timing mark on this. Let's see for a second, guys. There's a timing mark on this. You're going to line that mark up over here to this little plate, and there's a notch, a V notch. Make sure it's in between here. Then there's another line, single line, single line, single line, double line. You see that line right there, okay? That's the timing mark. And there's another V here on the back side of the timing pulley that you line up here, so that is perfect. When I first fired this engine up, here was the problem. She was bucking and farting and carrying on. I figured, oh shit, I'm out of time. I was out of tooth on the belt, so I cranked everything around to top dead center again, checked my marks, and I was bang on. So I got thinking about this, and well, really, to be honest with you, it doesn't take a mental midget to figure it out. I figured as this timing belt stretched, what some mechanic did, because it probably stopped running correctly for the gentleman. So what the guy did, he checked the timing with his timing light and realized that it was way out of time and he couldn't adjust it anymore. So what he did is he pulled the distributor up and turned it back a tooth, or turned it ahead, either or. So what I did when everything was lined up, because this here was all the way turned, and it was absolutely, it was so far advanced, it was just unbelievable. So what I did is I pulled the cap and seen where my rotor was on top dead center, and I was over here. Well, that's no good. And so what I did is I pulled the distributor back, turned it back a tooth, lined it up, and this is my result. And if you get this result, guys, you're almost bang on timing. Check it with the timing light, we're going to have to, but I will stress, do not run this engine long. Aluminum head and rubber bellows on the back. It does not take much to burn them up. So if you can get this kind of a starting situation after changing the timing belt, before you put a timing light on it, because to put a timing light on it, you got to pretty much put it all back together again. But if you get it to this point and it does this, you are close. So that's not a big issue now. We know we start, we know we run. So now we can start assembling this thing again, the whole front end. But one thing I want to show you, and I stress highly, because when you take this thing apart, you're going to have to change them. There's rubber O-rings here, and they go around here like this, okay, to make the fit and the seal into your water pump. And these things are going to be as brittle as brittle as brittle. OEM part from Volvo, change them all. Do not use silicone, do not try rubber O-rings. It will not work, they have to be flat. So anyways, while you got it to this point, take a quick visual of your water pump and just have a quick boo to see what the impeller looks like. And this one actually doesn't look too bad. But I'm going to have to pull the end cap off here to get this back on, because there's a plate that goes on here. Excuse me guys, I'm flipping around here. And this actually goes in here like this. Yeah, it can be a little bit of a bugger, and that's how they run. That's what turns your water pump gear. And that comes out, and then you pull this out like this. and then it goes back on like this. Simple. Other than that, guys, that is the QA125 Volvo. And these are an absolute fantastic little motor. Aluminum head, they're not a powerhouse by any means. They're only 125 horse, and I believe it's about 90 to 100 horse at the prop. But if you like to fish, these are a perfect little motor. You look after it, it will look after you. The only difficulty is these things here, guys, you have to make damn sure that you check the water pumps every year before you put these things in the water, because it does not take much heat to cook these motors. And when you're doing the run test, when you set the timing, or when you get the timing belt in, not very long. On and off. If you're close to the timing mark, or the timing dead on, she should start and idle, and then you're close. And then you just take your timing light and set everything up. Aluminum head, guys, it doesn't take much to cook these engine. It doesn't take much heat. And you don't want to burn the back boots out either, because they're just rubber. So anyways, guys, that's all for today. And if you like this video, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And we'll talk to you again. Cheers.